So the next stage, of course, of this build will be the railguns of the Strike Freedom. These are the ones that's on the side skirts. And first you'll need is this part here, followed by this red part. That will go like this. Well, not all the way. As a matter of fact, you want to put this one first here. So it sticks out from the bottom. It's a bit tricky, so you gotta line it up properly here. Come on, there we go. And then there's a notch here where it lines up with the sight on the gun, on the barrel. So it looks like that. Next, you want to take this, and this one you gotta be very careful. Once you put it in here, these two notches here has to fall into place into the spacing inside this. Once that happens, then you take this, bring it on, put it on top of it, and then it's supposed to clamp on to the sides inside the parts here, so it doesn't come out. And then, of course, it's supposed. Oops. Well, I was supposed to do that, but I guess not. Let me see if I can do it again. There. It's supposed to like come out in and out like that, like you just saw. And then we'll take this. We'll take this part here that goes in the top like so. And oops, I forgot a blue part. This blue part here. Put it in like that. So it looks like this. Now, this part here, which of course connects from the inside of the waist, I want to make sure it's facing this way, and you want to take this part here, put it in like that. This part here, put it in like that, and close this up like so. And then you take this part here, which represents the housing to hold the beam sabers, and there you have it. Then you just close it up for storage until you're ready to use them in combat. So that's pretty much it. And I did this incorrectly, as you could see. And let's fix that right now, since we're here. This is an easy fix. Flip that around like so. Put that here. And there you go. Alright, so the rail guns on the side skirts are now complete. Let's continue on with the next part. Now we're going to move on to the wing assembly unit of the Strike Freedom, and this is of course one of the most unique parts of the kit. There are a lot of parts here that are slightly different, so you got to be slightly aware of what you're doing here. First off, you get two of these gold parts. One is longer than the other, and like the original Master Grade and the original and the of course the Perfect Grade kits, they were like this, so it looks like this when you open and close. This one was the one that was protruding out. Before we move on to that, let's move on to the Dragoons. Now, here's a pre-assembled Dragoon, and what I did was I actually painted the inside of this with the gold marker. Here it is, slightly drying. I don't know if you guys can see that. Many of you are saying, why haven't I used my gold marker? The reason why is because I have very, very little gold in it. It's been used up so much and it's starting to dry up. I may have to end up getting another pen. Considering how few parts I have here for gold, I said, well, I might as well put it on specific areas that is required. with that being said, let's now put these on. So you want to put this on like this, and then close it up. It's very simple, nothing specific. Unlike, if I'm not mistaken, if I remember correctly, the some of the parts and detail features that was inside the original Dragoons on the Perfect Raid. But this is pretty much how it looks like. Okay. Now, moving on to this. We'll pull this out first. Then we have this cover here that goes like that. If you could try to find it properly. There we go. You may have to snap it into place. There we go. Then do this. Then we'll need this part here. Flip it up, and I think it slides in here. Yep. Come on. Trying to see where it slides into. Be very careful you don't bend this, because this thing is, the last thing you want is to damage this part. Okay, there we go. So it's in there. Then you take the Dragoon and stick it in there like so, I guess. There we go. So it's in there nice and snug, I guess. You repeat the same process with the smaller part here. Yikes, this thing is tight. Come on. Now, hold on a second. Don't tell me this is specific per part. No, it's the same number, the same numerations. Alright. There we go. Jesus. And then we put that in there like so. Fine. Every time I think it's in there, I don't know if it's in or not. Because I think it has to go from top down. Come on. Alright, see that? That's fine. That goes there. Wow. Can't believe how tough this is just to put in two parts. Hang on a second. Okay. After a few minutes of finagling, I was able to get it in there. Be very careful, of course. This thing is very, very thin. Very, very delicate. So just keep an eye on what you're doing and, have a little patience. Alright, so we have the next Dragoon in here. So that completes these. So this is how it looks like now. Now, you need to close them together. So, according to this, put this around here. Put this part like that. And put this part over here like so. Ooh. You know what? I did not make a mistake here, but didn't realize. When you come to this point, this falls into place like this, because you have this feature here on the on this peg. So I have to fall in like that, but since it has to be like this, it doesn't fall in properly. Looking at the extra ones here that I put to the side, clearly it has to go like this. So I can close these two like so. So I'm not going to take this apart to put this in here. I'm going to put it to the side, and then I'm going to assemble this one again to put it on. So give me some time to finish all this, and we'll move on so I can finish up all the remaining Dragoon and support wings, and then we'll assemble the whole thing in one shot. Alright, so I finally was able to get a lot of these done and put into proper places, and didn't realize on a few things, specifically the fact that these two parts are different, and one goes on one end while the other one goes the other. So I learned it the hard way, and I put it in the wrong one, and I nearly crushed it to a dumb extent, but I'll leave it the way it is for now. But this is how it looks like, where you have to put these two together. Now, as you see, they don't stay into place that long. They have to be held by the support of this, so put this here, flip it about like that, and if we put this here, snap it into place or close it up. And if you have to, you may have to glue these if you have to do you know, custom build or painting build. Then you have the red trim part that goes here, and that completes one of the 1, 2, 3, 4 wings that you see here. Moving on, now we're going to assemble the backpack so we can get it out of the way. First up, you want to take one of these parts and turn it like this, and then carefully find the right orientation. Give me a second here. There we go, so I have that one there, and that one over here, so that closes up pretty well, like that. We'll do the same thing right now with this one. There we go. And then according to this, as I'm reading it here, I want to make sure this part goes here, that one goes there, like so, and then the other part will be the same thing. One goes there, the other one goes there, like so. So it looks like that. Then we have this gold trim part here. Oh, before we get to that, give me a second while I prepare the manual here so I can read this. We want to take this part, the backpack, followed by, I believe, yes, the gold trim part goes here. And I might as well do this since I only have very, very little amount of gold, which I'm trying to figure out where I put it. Just had it here a moment ago. Hang on a sec. Okay, never mind, I couldn't find it, but I'll put it on later on. So we have that, followed by the red trim part. Oops, that actually goes, come on, that goes over this. I didn't realize that. So that goes like that. Then this part goes like this, followed by the gray trim part here. It goes like that. Alright, so that goes, that's how it looks like. And then the manual states I keep it like that, and then I guess you have to do it this way, like this, and like this, followed by this part here that goes like that. Then this cover here. That goes like this. Alright, there you have it. Took a little longer than normal, but yeah, the wings are done. We're almost done here, so let's move on to the final part of this build.